All right, guys, welcome to my channel. Here we are filming a video today. Gonna do a get ready with me, but I'm gonna use all drugstore makeup. So here we go. I have some old things that I've had for a while. Not too old, of course, but I have some older things that I've had for a while that are still, most of them are still available. I had a few things that I had to pick up because I actually don't use a lot of drugstore, so this is an experiment to me to see how it goes. I got this new microphone. It's supposed to help with sound around me, and I'm filming from my salon studio today, so there may be noise. I'm trying to find ways to cut back on that noise. I do have a neighbor who talks quite loud, and I hear her through everything, even after it's closed up, so it is what it is. This is what we have today. But it's a nice space to film from, and yeah, better lighting than my home. Anyway, so yeah, I'm getting started with, so I've already done my skincare. I already did that before I left the house. I live close to where my salon studio is, and I actually went and had brunch at little place here in Walnut Creek called Broderick's. That probably looks backwards. This is just water, but I went and had brunch. I had some chorizo and eggs and, walked over here. So yeah, here we go. Getting started with foundation, and the foundation I'm going to use today is the L'Oreal True Match. And I keep hearing about this one, keep being told by all of my YouTube community, people that I watch, that I should be using it. All right, so starting with the foundation, I also have my Yes to Cucumbers wipes, just because I like to put things on my hand as I go. So I need something to wipe them off with. So I got my little wipey here. I'm gonna bring you guys just a little bit closer. There we go. So I gotta have my wipey out and ready. All right, shaking up. So this comes in a dropper, and the dropper is super messy. So somebody that I follow, and I'm kind of forgetting her name right now, somebody that I follow on YouTube says there's droppers or pumps that you can get on Amazon for the. So I just drop some onto my hand. I like to put drops, just little bits on my face, and then I'll grab my brush and blend it in. I've actually newly become a brush girly. I was doing everything with my fingers, but now that I've got some discoloration and things on my face, since I'm a little older than I used to be, as we all are, I find that the brush covers a little better. So that's my messy foundation on the face look. I'm gonna grab this brush here. It's a flat foundation brush. This is from Laura Lee. Now the Laura Lee brushes are not available anymore. I think she discontinued her makeup company. So these are definitely, I have a few of these in the mix. Those are not available. But it's just a flat, very dense foundation brush. And I'm just going to smooth the foundation onto my face. Now I've used this once already, this foundation. I think it's more of a skin tint. I don't think it's a full-on, highly coverage foundation. In fact, is it a skin tint? It's a tinted serum. So kind of, yeah. Tinted serums, in my experience, are not high coverage. And I actually don't look for high coverage. I like my skin to shine through. I just like to be blended. And I make sure I get it back there into the ear area and under my chin. Even though this matches my skin very well, I still, want to make sure it's all blended in and make sure there's no streaks anywhere. All right, so that was the True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. Now, if you're a color similar to me, I got, where's the color? 3-4 light medium. So I think I have a medium-ish skin tone, but because I got a little olivey, but it's still not dark. And I have a tan right now, so that's gonna fade out pretty soon. All right, so now you guys can still see that's not covering up my pigmentation on my skin. So I'm going in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Now hydrating because I don't want dry, crusty looking stuff on my face. This is medium beige. So it's e.l.f. medium beige hydrating camo concealer. Now it may not cover it completely, but this is what we look like, right? I'm not trying to make myself look like a perfect clean canvas. Again, this is the second time I've used this one. This one might actually be a little deeper, but it'll blend it out and it'll be fine. Okay. All right, back to that same brush. And I'm just gonna dab this one gently and make sure it blends in there really well. Yeah, it is a little bit dark, but with everything I put on today, it'll be fine. A little warm for my skin tone. Yeah, so I wonder, I don't use a lot of e.l.f. products, so I wonder if their beige tends to lean warm. So the beiges that I get in other lines tend to lean a little more neutral, but again, that's okay. I'll just blend it in really well. And then all the other stuff I'm using today is just gonna kind of blend that out, but that is definitely a little bit orange. It's all right. So I want to use the concealer for a eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to dab a little bit on, and I think the eyeshadow I'm going to use today is on the warmer side, so it'll work out okay. Just going to dab a little on the eyes and then blend that in. Just using the same old brush. All right, so yeah, it's still on the warm side, and it's actually not coming up that orange on camera, but it's pretty orange in person. But again, that's okay. We work with it, right? So next thing I'm going to do, I want to go right into eyeshadow. And for eyeshadow today, I brought, okay, so I hope I don't have this backwards. I brought the Breakfast in Bed palette from Beauty Bakery. And I think the Breakfast in Bed is still the one that's available, but I noticed it's half price on the website, so it might not be available much longer. I also have Proof is in the Pudding, which I also brought today. I think that one might be discontinued. So I'm gonna try to stick with the Breakfast in Bed palette, which it's a pretty cool tone. It's got some warmish things in there, but it's a pretty cool tone palette. There's nothing really light enough to be an all over veil in the Breakfast in Bed, so I'm going to go into the Pudding palette and use this light one right here to put all over and set that concealer. So it's called Rice Pudding. It's in the Proof is in the Pudding palette. I'm going to tap that off because Drugstore can be a little bit, can have a lot of fallout. And I definitely see fallout as I'm tapping it off. So this is actually helping to cool down that orange a little bit too. So what are you guys reading right now? Anything fun? I've kind of been on the kick with the dragon books. What is the one I'm reading right now? I'd have to get into my camera, which is on my phone, or my phone, which is where my camera is, to find it. But yeah, so I'm reading books about dragons. I'm kind of, I don't know, I was reading a lot of the fairy stuff and I'm feeling a little tired of the fairy romance. So we're trying some different things now. Yeah, but what are you reading? Tell me about what you're reading when you pop on here. Going into, for my crease color, forehead kisses right there. I'm gonna put proofs of pudding aside for now, because I don't have a lot of space on my table. All right, so that last brush I used, it's Shades by Shan blending brush. So that really is just a good, big, fluffy brush. That's how I got, you know, an all over coverage of that color. So I'm gonna go into my Japanesque brush. This one has no numbers or anything on it, but it's a domed blending brush. Tapping off, of course. All right, so I have hooded eyes. So there are things that I have to do. I pull it down a lot, which I know, and I don't have a lot of space on top like some people do. So I tend to pull it down a lot. And I'm finding this is not much of a crease color. So I'm gonna put it on the other side so it matches. But then I might go into something else because this is not showing up on me. So I probably could have gone over everything with that color. Yeah, this is a new thing for me. I don't have a ton of experience with drugstore type products. So we're learning as we go, right? So I'm gonna go into one of the deeper colors. Messy hair. This one right here. But I'm gonna go into it gently because it looks a good step, several steps darker than the other one. So I'm just gonna tap, tap, go real gentle, see how it goes. So I'm not going for an extreme look today. I just want some color. Going a little more. Okay, yeah, this is what I was expecting that other color to look like. So this is, I'm guessing, I've had it for a while, but it's looking, I don't use it much. So this is looking like a very buildable type palette. It's one you can actually go in pretty hard with. You don't have to worry about getting too much color on your brush. But I like to build, so I'm okay with that. Now see, that's more of that crease color that I was going for. See, I like to pull it down and just get a little bit up because if I'm not careful, all of a sudden my whole lid is covered with the color. Let's see, that's that nice crease color that I was looking for. Next, I'm gonna deepen that a little bit more. I think I'm gonna go with this darker brown here. It's called Yawning. And I'm gonna take this brush. This is Firma 204. So it's a more densely packed brush. And so I'm gonna grab a good amount of that. And there's a lot of fallout in this palette, so lots of tapping. And I'm just gonna go in and tap this into the outer corner. I'm gonna do it with my finger. Get it in there and then I'll go in with a brush afterwards and blend. Yeah, just deepening that outer corner. It's Sunday. We're not going anywhere special. I'm gonna go hang out with some friends, but just at their house and chill. So it's not like it has to be like a really intense look, but I wanted to show. Back into that Japanesque brush with the other color on it. And I'm just gonna blend out that outer corner. Nice. Leaving some room in the middle because there's some shimmers in this palette I'm gonna play with. Nice and blended. Just more of a shadow, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna go in with, I think Fresh Face looks fun. Yeah, this one here, Fresh Face. It's kind of a, I think it's a golden kind of color. Got it on my finger there. It's got a nice shimmer to it. And that's definitely the kind of color you're going to use your finger to put on. Nice. It's a soft shimmer. It's nothing crazy intense, but that's okay. It feels really soft in the pan. Kind of velvety. All right, back to that brush, just gonna blend a little more. Make sure that those shimmers aren't living above. It's not as much of a shimmer as it is a satiny. I think it's a borderline between shimmer and satin. I'm gonna go into French Doors. That's that one right there. That's gonna be my inner corner highlight. Brush I'm gonna use for that, this one here. The dent side, it's a small dent side. This is an Anastasia brush. I think it came with an Anastasia palette. Some of these brushes that come with palettes are pretty nice, but it's like high-end palettes. The brushes that come with drugstore palettes, usually not quite so nice. I'm just gonna tap into that yawning color. And I'm gonna bring it into the inner corner on top and bottom, and into that darkness. Kind of a like dark hole that lives right inside there. I'm going to use the other side of the brush to kind of just blend that up a little bit. There it is, just a little brightness. It's not showing up on camera as much. That's okay. Wasn't going for super intense. Ooh. My table down here has wheels on it, so it about got away from me. I'm gonna put the palette away for now. I might come back to it for finishing touches later. Next thing I want to do would be eyeliner. All right. So I'm just gonna stick with this little black one I have today. It's the Lasting Perma Matte from Maybelline. And it's just a black twist up liner. I believe these are supposed to last a long time. It just says lasting, it doesn't say how long. But usually when I use them, I get pretty much all day out of it. I'm gonna go in and tightline first. You be careful with the tight lining sometimes. You can poke yourself in the eye. But I like it because it just intensifies the liner and you lose that space that you sometimes get in between. And then I'm just gonna go over the top a little bit. Now I really like a good felt liner, but I couldn't find, it's not that I couldn't find one, I just don't know which ones are good at drugstore. So I really like the KVD one, I really like the Pat McGrath one. Even Stilla has a good one. But if anybody knows any drugstore ones that are good, that might stand up to those other three and maybe last all day long, because that's my biggest thing, and not run. Those are my rules. It's got to last all day and it's got to not run. I am all over the place doing a lot of things throughout the day. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get the other side. So just a little on the liner today, nothing too much. I also picked up this one, who makes this one? L'Oreal Infallible in this pretty green color, but I'm not gonna use that one today. I'm gonna save that for another day. Next, I'm going into eyebrows. So I don't do my eyebrows. So this is gonna be an experiment today. We're gonna play and see how this goes. I'm gonna play with it. As I'm putting it on, I might put it in fast forward. But what I got is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Waterproof Brow Pencil. Looks like that right there. It's got a spoolie on one side. Looks like a nice little spoolie. And I went with twist up pencil. So I figure it's got a nice fine point on it, and I'm not gonna make crazy mistakes like I might with a pen. I'm gonna go in and do that now, so you might see me do it in fast forward. It's gonna be an experiment, so it might take a minute. So you guys are gonna want me to fast forward through it. All right. So yeah, I think that's a nice beginner eyebrow. I didn't go crazy. I just filled in areas where I may need a little bit. I like my eyebrows, so I don't do a ton of filling in of the eyebrows, but I do feel like I will have to go in and do a little something underneath to brighten things up. So I'm gonna go back into that first palette, the Proof is in the Pudding. All right, so I'm just gonna wipe off that Anastasia brush, and I'm gonna go into Nana Pudding right here. It's another one of those lighter colors, hopefully light enough, and it's gonna go right under the eyebrow. Yeah, just to clean things up a bit. Yeah, just know if you get one of these palettes, the colors are definitely lighter than they appear. So it's not super heavy intensity on the Beauty Bakery palettes, which again is fine. Not everybody needs that super heavy intense. Wait till you see what I'm getting from the Sephora sale this year. It's gonna be a fun, very intense palette, and we're gonna have some fun playing with it. Just a hint of what's to come. All right, so I think that's pretty good on the eyes for now. I'll go back with mascara. I like to do that at the end when everything's all done so that I don't get stuff all over my mascara. Next thing I'm going into is bronzer. All right, so this bronzer is well used. I love this bronzer. The NYX Buttermelt, and I believe it's Butter Biscuit is the color. She's well used. We're getting a new one soon, but I just feel like I could use more of that before I get a new one. I could do it. And I'm gonna go in with my Sephora Collection Pro Mini 55.5. And I am not currently rouge, but I got this back when I first got rouge a long time ago. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's part of the Sephora tier system. Rouge gets like 20% off on their sales. I think I don't remember what it's called, but it's one step up from Beauty Insider, one step down from Rouge, and I get 15% off. It's not as good as 20, but it'll do. There's some of these things never go on sale, so yeah. So I'm gonna take that bronzer, tap it in here, just kind of push it up a little bit. It's their second to lightest color, but it is a warm color. And it's very pigmented, so these things will last a long time. I think I got this probably in the spring, and I use it most days. So yeah, I'm gonna do the other side. And I like to keep it high up, keep my bronzer high up. Except when I come down here and hit this stuff. That's that little more of a blending out the jawline kind of situation. And then I'm gonna go in and do a little up here. Just that kind of hitting those areas that look like they should have a little bit of glow. We won't have to do this. I don't do this all winter long. It's just, you know, coming out of summer. And then I'm gonna take what's left of my brush, hit those edges of my nose. And a lot of people like to contour up there. Bigger part of my nose is here, so I tend to contour and just kind of hit the darkness in those areas. Darkness makes things look a little smaller. Now I don't have that big a nose, so I'm not trying to go super small, but I have no problem with the way my nose is shaped up here, so I don't put it up there. Okay, so yeah, you can kind of see where I went with that. Just kind of the outside of my face and then my nose. I also use this one for eyeshadow, for my contour shade in my eyeshadow sometimes. I'm gonna put that brush away. So this product, I'm not so sure that it's considered drugstore, but it's a drugstore price. Product is called Moira, and it's lost its writing because it's got like cheap gold writing on it, paint or whatever. This is called Forever Mine. It's a pink cream brush. Cream blush. So I'm just gonna tap that. Give me that bright pink. Not too bright, of course. And then I'm gonna grab this brush here. This is one of the Laura Lee, it's the L34. It's another dense brush. Actually, no, I forgot. I like to use this one. This came from an Alicia Keys kit that I got. I don't know what the brush is called, but it's got like a leather handle, a faux leather handle on it. And it's like a dense brush, but it fans out. I'm just gonna tap that in. I like to kind of blend it into my eyeshadow a little bit. And I like my blush to be up here. I don't like it down here as much. I like it up high. And that's been the look I've been wearing lately. I think it just looks fresh and I don't know. I just like it. And it's lifting, it's uplifting. I put it on my nose. I always put a little blush on my nose too. And then I blend that out. I'll use that brush to hit the top a little bit. And there it is. Next, I'm putting in the Milani Rose Powder Blush in Tea Rose. She's been around a little while too, but you know, sure. It usually looks like a rose and it's kind of been worn down, but these last forever. And they've got plenty of pigment. I'm loving this brush here for my powdered blushes. And yes, it's kind of one of those fan brushes. So it's like real dense on the bottom, but then it fans out. This is Laura Lee L32, again, not available. Annoying, but you know, that's how these things go. And that's just going right where I put that cream blush or liquid blush. And then something else I've been doing lately is taking a brighter blush and just topping kind of closer, high up. This is Milani also. She is the Rose Powder Blush in Coral Cove, and you can see more of the rose on this one. Yeah. So it's a coral color. It's a little bit brighter. And I'm gonna go in with my Makeup by Mario brush. Is that a number? It's a F2, but the smaller side, so I don't pick up too much. We're just gonna keep that up high. Just to enhance and brighten. And then I'm just kind of using that other blush to blend things out a little bit. So I'm gonna do a little bit of the Rimmel Stay Matte. So this looks really light, but it's actually just transparent. It's just a matte powder. I'm gonna use this brush here, the one I was just kind of softening things with. And I'm just gonna do a little bit in specific areas. So hitting the areas that tend to, you know, the T-zone pretty much. So I don't know if you see a difference. I do. It just kind of soften things up so we don't look greasy or oily around the T-zone. So yeah, going into highlighter next. So this is the Mega Glow highlighting powder. Color is Blossom Glow. It's pretty. It's like a soft pink. And I've used this before. This is a brand new one. I haven't used it in a while, but I've definitely used it before and I've always liked it. So when I was looking for a highlighter, I thought that would just be a good way to go. It's a soft glow. It's not insane, which I wasn't looking for. Insane today. Sometimes when you have texture on your skin, insane. If you're going for an insane highlight, it's gotta be the right one, or you're gonna just show all your lines and wrinkles, which, you know, we have them and that's okay, but it's nice to not enhance them more. So you guys can kind of see I've got that nice little glow coming from that. Nothing crazy, just a little bit. I'm going in with my mascara finally. This is the Essence Lash Princess, and I got this one recently. I keep hearing people talk about it, so I thought I would check it out, and it's fairly inexpensive. I've used it once. I don't love any mascara the first time I use it, so this is second use. I like them to dry up a little bit. They just seem better after they've dried up and calmed down a little bit, but I'm just gonna go in. It's got kind of one of the smaller fluffy brushes on it. It definitely extends, but I think so far this might be one for the people that like the spider lashes, which I'm not a huge fan of the spider lashes. They like, you know, where they like them clumped together, which is fine for them. For me, I like them a little softer and separated. But, you know, looking at the difference between the two, that's pretty good. And again, I have to use this a few times before I really know if I like it. I am a big fan of tubing mascara. It's usually my jam. I just like the removal of it. And I like that I can teach fitness classes and it doesn't come off. So even in a sweaty room, it doesn't come off. But yet when I want to get it off, it's easy to remove. Okay, it's definitely not bad. It's definitely showing up and doing the job. All right, so I got an e.l.f. lip liner. This one is the Cream Glide Liner in Truth or Bare. Looks like a nice kind of neutral color. All right, so doesn't show up too much, not a ton. It's kind of a warm, neutral kind of color. And I'm gonna go in with my, so this is Revlon Champagne on Ice, number 205. I actually really like this color. It's like a frosty, kind of just frosty beige neutral. I know they're not super trendy and in style, but I'm really a big fan of frosty lip glosses. And then this is a favorite lately. So this is a Drugstore. I decided a while back that I'm not buying high-end lip glosses. I found this super lustrous glimmer lip gloss. This color is Hot Honey. This came from, I believe this is Revlon. Yeah. Is shimmery. I like the shimmer. It stays on. I like that too, which I'm finding myself spending $25 to $40 on a lip gloss high end and it just comes off in 5 minutes. So what's the point when I can get this for $11? I think they're almost 12, but still. All right. there it is. See? So it just kind of finished the look. Yeah, I think that's it for today for what I'm going to be putting on. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. This is the final look. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'm filming on Sunday. I'm not sure exactly what day this is going to come out. Yeah. Hope you guys have a great Sunday and come see me again sometime. And yeah, let's chat. Send me something in the comments. If there's a video you'd like to see me do, a product you'd like to see me work with. I love to do makeup videos, and I'll also be working with hair also. I mean, I'm a hairstylist, so hair is my main thing in life, right? But I love makeup, so I do makeup videos. Got a couple more videos coming up. So the things that I get from the Sephora sale, I'm just going to do a haul. It's not going to be a major haul because I'm not spending that kind of money on makeup. But, you know, I did one order of the Sephora stuff because the Sephora stuff is 30% off no matter what. And I'm going to do another order in a couple days of the other stuff. And then I'm also going to do a empties video for you guys. It's going to be like empties, things I've given up on, what I'm repurchasing, what I'm not. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys have a great time. I will see you soon. Thanks.